All right, hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Civic Mandate. Today, I'm very happy to announce that we are releasing our second episode in our series of Generation Rising. So, this episode is called The Shadow of Islam. Me and Seth, we talk about Islam, we talk about its effect on the West, and of course, we get into young men and we talk about theology, we talk about partisan politics. We really bounce around a lot, but hey, that's the point of this show. So, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I just want you to know very, very soon, our colonialism episode will be coming out, probably within a few days of this episode dropping. So keep an eye out for that one. I put in a lot of work for that one, and I hope you guys enjoy it when it does come out. All right, you guys, hope you enjoy this video, and we're going to get straight into it. There's no intro this time, so I hope you guys have a great day, and God bless, and enjoy the video. Another episode. Didn't get Lane today, but I'm very happy to be very excited to welcome Seth. He's coming back, and he's joining us again, which is great. We had some good conversations in our first episode, so I'm very excited to have him back again. How are you doing, Seth?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Pretty good, dude. I'm tired. It's raining outside.
Yeah,
it's definitely winter.
Yeah. It snowed a little last night. We didn't get a whole lot, but did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Heck yeah, bro. I had a great time. We hung out with my family down in Southern Oregon.
Oh, heck yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I went home for a little bit and visited with family, so it was nice to kind of get away from, the college life. So I enjoyed it.
For sure. Yeah, I want to make it down to Missouri one of these days. I can't believe you guys already have snow. Here in Oregon, we don't get snow until like January, if we're lucky.
That's usually, at least where I live here in Missouri, excuse me, is we usually don't get snow this early, so it's kind of different this year. It's usually around the Martin Luther King Jr. Day time that we get the snow, so a little different.
Yeah, snow's always fun, yeah. But today we're talking about a little bit more serious of a topic than snow. So I do kind of want to start off today. Obviously, you guys, if you clicked on this video, you probably know that today's topic is about Islam. So that's obviously a very complicated topic. I do want to say that for some reason, you always have to preface it with this, which is kind of sad. But I do want to preface with the fact that here in the United States, we have religious freedom, and I do kind of accept that, and I do recognize that I have a different religion than Muslims, but we'll get into maybe the benefits of certain religions over others, especially in our nation. I do want to say, though, like, this is no hate against Muslim people. I genuinely know a lot of nice Muslims, but we're going to be talking generally about the detriment to society of certain religious ideologies. So, yeah, first, I do want to preface this with, before we talk about the United States, I want to talk about the Muslim takeover of Europe. So obviously, for thousands of years, Europe has been a bulwark against Muslim invasions. Obviously, the Siege of Vienna, the Winged Hussars, like all that stuff. Like, Europe stood strong again in the face of Muslim aggression, and now we're starting to see that Muslims are infiltrating formerly Christian nations. They're infiltrating at the highest levels of government, and I think it's a major issue. Do you have anything to say about that?
No, I would say you're right. Especially, you're looking today and you see Canada doesn't look like what it looked like. UK doesn't look like what it looked like. I mean, even America, Minnesota, especially. I'm sure we'll get into that later. But yeah, it's different. And here's the thing. Like I said, I'm not knocking the Muslim belief. I'm not. I mean, everyone can worship who they want to worship. But the thing that draws the line is when you say we're going to make sure Islam is in every household. We're going to, intifada, move in, expand. That's radical. It's radicalism. That's dangerous. It's dangerous rhetoric, and it's something that needs to be looked at. Like I said, not discriminating, but that the radical side of that is definitely concerning.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that now we'll get into a little bit later, but I do think that certain religions should be promoted in society, and I do not think that Islam is a religion that recognizes our values as Western nations, and certainly they've tried to destroy it for thousands and thousands of years. And when you look at the West and you look at France, I mean, the place is a dump. You look at any nation that the Muslims have ruled over as a theocracy, I mean, they are not good nations, just generally speaking. They don't have good infrastructure. Their streets are dirty. It's just not a good form of ruling. And I think part of that is because of this sort of like a legal code that they live by that's not really reflected by any moral or natural law. They have very restrictive views on women and children and authority and leadership. So I think that's also kind of a detriment to their societies. You know, like I said, I mean, I'm going to keep saying this. Like, I don't personally have anything against Islam. They haven't done anything to me personally, but I do know a lot of people that have. I've heard of a lot of people who, there are lots of murders here. There are certainly Muslim extremist groups that have infiltrated the United States too, and of course, like we're talking about Europe, like it's insane there. The gang violence, the atrocities that are being committed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And even here, we're seeing it here. The two National Guard, rest their souls, or I don't know. I think one's still fighting, but that one lady that tragically passed, God rest her soul. She was doing the right thing, fighting for this country. But if I want you to fact check, I could be wrong on this, but I believe the man that shot her was like an Afghan rebel in a way, right? He was Afghan nationalist, right? And didn't he? I think before he shot the bullet, he said "Death to America," if I'm not mistaken. I think I seen something along those lines. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But that's where we've gotten, and as someone that's Christian, it doesn't surprise me. This is prophecy. But it's concerning stuff, man. Concerning stuff for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a great segue into kind of this more broader topic of the Islamic takeover of the West, because you do see the West as this place that is distinctly built on Christian values and Christian norms. And then, like we've established, it's been in direct conflict with the ideology of Islam and even the nations of Islam for thousands of years. I mean, it's been happening for a long time. So I think that what you're starting to see now is this sort of ideological takeover. So it's not quite as overt as, an Islamic army marching up to Vienna and besieging it and then,
right.
Ultimately being defeated. But rather, I feel like they've changed strategies and now they're trying to take over the West ideologically through immigration. You see, obviously, here in the West, our birth rates have declined dramatically. And the Islamic, they literally say, many Islamists actually say this. They say, we will outbreed the West.
Yep.
Right? Yep. So, I mean, simply put, like they are trying to take over the West. And they realize they can't conquer us through force. And they're trying to take us over through political action and through immigration and through all these other forms that aren't nearly as overt.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And being Christian, I would love for everyone to convert to Christianity. That's obviously that's your religion. You have every right to feel that way. But when you're doing it in a radical way, in an unsafe way, in a harming way, that's where you cross the line. And that's where I think Islam is headed right now. I think that's been their ideology for a while, but it's really radicalized. It's really radicalizing. You look at Texas right now, and they're I think it was in Texas. It might have been Times Square, but there was a speech that I was listening to from someone that was Islam, and he said, "We will make sure Islam is in every household, whether you like it or not." That's not normal. That's not normal talk, religion wise.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you're forcing on someone, and it seems like they're gonna use action to force us to do that, and obviously. That's not okay. It's not normal.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is in the Quran. People do like to talk about how like jihad means something different. And in like in a certain way, yeah, it does. Like the jihad against oneself, which is like denying, which is a very Christian idea, which is denying the desires of the flesh, and declaring. Obviously, they have very different ideas on morals than we do as Christians, but actual jihad against people who do not believe in what you believe and forcibly converting people is 100% a cornerstone belief of radical Islam.
Yeah.
And we see an extension of this here in the United States with terror attacks. It is very prevalent in the Middle East. And of course, we're seeing it in Nigeria where they're trying to form a caliph there. And they are literally just slaughtering Christians left and right. And it's just it's a part of their religion.
Yeah. And I was doing research. It was a while ago, and I think what is it? I think there's around 5 million Muslims in America right now, I believe. So what would that? They'd make up roughly 2% of the population. But it seems like, at least, I mean, I guess this would be true. Usually, the Muslims, like, they try to have a lot of children. It seems like. So those children having children, and so it's just that expansion that they talk about, moving and expand. It definitely comes to light, and I think it's through that. But we'll see. And I know we've seen here. I think I was looking at a statistic. It was a while back. I can't remember. I think even a lot of like Hindus, I think they're starting to kind of transition into the Muslim belief now.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, it's a very active religion, and they're certainly trying to expand and into the West right now, which is a major problem. We're starting to see the negative effects of that here in the United States. Obviously, we had, I mean, we can debate whether or not he's actually an ideological Muslim, because obviously he supports trans rights, whatever that means, trans rights, what? Obviously, he supports things like that. But like Mamdani did win the election in New York, a self-identified Muslim. He identifies as a Muslim. That is quite, I mean, I don't know if there's ever been a Muslim as the mayor of New York, the greatest city
I don't
in the
think
United
so.
States.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's the first time that's happened.
Yeah. So I think that's an issue. We are starting to see them infiltrate into our political class. Major problem. And we're also starting to see kind of a shift in ideology and sort of this extremism that is so prevalent in the Muslim religion becoming commonplace in American politics, in American morals. And I think it's a major issue.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I would absolutely agree with that. And like I said, this is me saying, I don't care what you practice. I don't. That's not my business. We all believe what we want to believe. We all are who we are. But like I said, the line is drawn when you're telling me that you're going to force this on me. You're going to accept this. That's where I have the problem, and that's where this has really gone to, is they're becoming mean in a way. Like, you listen to a rally, and obviously you have to translate it into English, and what they're saying is scary stuff, man. It's very scary stuff. Like, it's not one of those, like, is it Allah, I guess. They're like, there's not even Allah loves you, this and that, come to our religion, it's love. It's not even that. It's, you need to do this. You will serve this. It's very just kind of crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff that's being said.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think it is starting to affect our political order too. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, our political order used to be majority influenced by Christian values, Christian beliefs.
Yeah.
Like, there was an honor to the system. And I mean, I think this is probably most starkly represented in medieval Europe, where you did have this honor system of chivalry between knights and lords and kings. And obviously that got messed up a little bit at some points, but there was this system of honor and respect for one another, for your enemy, for the common person, for women, right?
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see this perversion. And I can't help but wonder if this is an effect of Islam and their influence on our morals, on our society, all of this. Because, like, I know it's wrong to say, but like, it is kind of barbaric the way that their societies function, the way they treat women, the way that
the Sharia laws,
the way that they treat their enemies, the way that they treat people with different ideas than they have. So yeah, I mean, 100%. I think it's definitely having a negative effect on our society.
Yeah, and you're correct. And here's another point I wanted to like I said, I don't know. Obviously I'm Christian, and I try to stay away from the religious, aspect of politics because, like I said, everyone's going to worship who they're going to worship. It's America; you have every right.
Yeah.
But I think what we're seeing now is, at least in the Republican Party for sure, you're seeing a lot of people really start to put Judaism on a pedestal. So I'm wondering now if they're if the Muslim belief is looking at this and they're like, well, in their minds, they're thinking that they're being discriminated. I guess that'd be the word. I don't know, but you could be like, well, we have to offset, all the love that they're getting, and we're not getting it. Like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. That's the only way I can think about it because right now you're seeing a big clash in Republican. We talked about it, the big clash of
Mhm.
Judaism and everything that's going on right now. And they've always beef. It's just history. It's biblical, but I don't know. I think that may be what we're seeing right now. That Judaism's getting the love, and maybe the Muslim religion is getting maybe somewhat jealous. I don't know if that's fair to say. I'm just, like I said, I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. I think that's a good counterpoint too. I do feel like all religions here in the US, unless they directly go against moral order or they go against, like, obviously, if your religion says I can go out and murder whoever I want, I would say, as a general rule, that's a bad religion. I'm not saying that's what Islam is, by the way. If that is theoretically, if that's what your religion was, then that'd be a bad religion. Now, topic of like Judaism versus Islam, and perhaps one is being favored more than the other. I would say they're both equally hated right now.
Right? Yeah.
Uh, and I feel like both have been equally hated throughout history, but I think that more than both of them, Christianity has been hated even more.
Yeah, I would
Uh,
agree. I would agree.
yeah, no, 100%. So I think really what we need to do is to de-escalate the political and ideological situation here in the United States. And I think that'll bring the temperature down on all fronts. I don't think that the solution is maybe favoring one religion over another. But I do feel like the solution is just simply saying, yeah, maybe it's not okay to go kill people of the opposite religion
Yeah.
or kill people because they spread an ideology that is parallel to a religion. So.
Yeah, and I get on X a lot, and
Mhm.
I look at other world leaders and the supreme leader of Iran. I don't, I come Khamenei, but it's some weird name. That dude is a joke. I mean, he's just a
Yeah.
joke. The leader of Iran. He's always talking about we will destroy Zionism. They will respect us. This and that. It's like, yeah, and then these people, they get radicalized by this because they're brainwashing them to think that America wants to destroy these people. But when you have that mindset, it can really radicalize you, and it's really radicalizing that religion. And like I said, you have so many leaders over there. Afghanistan, you had ISIS, all these just subgroups, and it's really been radicalized over the years. And I think we're seeing it now. And there's a lot of lot of people that want to see America fall, and it's scary times for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Hey guys, for those of you watching down in the comments, tell me your thoughts on Islam in the United States. I don't know if anyone's like actually listening right now. Look like we got 5 people, but tell me your thoughts on Islam in the United States. Does it have negative effects on our society?
Yeah.
And what do you see happening in the future with this continued immigration? Love your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. What were you saying?
I was just saying, yeah, no, I was just agreeing. Yeah, yeah. No, I like to hear others' opinions. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about this. I have my opinions, but like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to brainwash anybody. That's not what I want to do. There's some things that concern me, and I think that's fair to have those feelings. And I think the rhetoric is concerning. That's really all I wanted to say on that.
Yeah. No, I think I agree with what you're saying. I do think maybe there is a little bit of, I wouldn't use the word jealousy, but maybe there is a little bit of kind of like, and I hesitate to use this word because I'm not necessarily like a Christian Zionist, whatever that means. I wouldn't identify as a Christian Zionist. But I think there's a little bit of tribalism here that maybe we're seeing. Obviously, Christianity, or not Christianity, Judaism and Islam have been fighting for a very long time. It's funny how people don't want to admit that either, too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm by no means a supporter of Islam, but I don't know. I think it's really weird. But yeah, so I think that what we might be seeing is just continuation of some tribalism, and it's just taken on a completely new battlefield. Instead, we're talking about here in the United States.
I seen a TikTok today. It was funny. I was gonna send this to you actually. It was a woman and she was just spouting off and she was on the mic and she said Jesus was a Palestinian, and she was saying all this and that and it
Oh,
was it was some crazy stuff.
okay, that one actually cracks me up though, because like a major point about Jesus and his lineage is the fact that he came from the line of
The
David.
line, yeah.
I think it's Matthew, but literally the first like two chapters of Matthew are all about the lineage of Jesus and how it's basically tracing it back from Adam all the way down to Abraham, to David, like and hitting all these high points. And it's like, yeah, Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're getting this. Like he was not a Ishmaelite at all.
Yeah,
He's not
I
from the
think
line.
she was trying to tie it into Bethlehem. I think she was trying to tie that in there, and I'm like, it was just such an apples to oranges statement that she made. It was a Bethlehem, uh, thing she was trying to tie in, and it didn't make any sense. Which then
Maybe like,
she went on to say that Jesus was a woman. So
but
so then
what?
I turned it off. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, well, I guess if you think
There's a lot of people there.
if
There's
you
a lot of
think
people that think this.
if you think Jesus was a woman, I guess it's not too far of a jump to think he was a Palestinian.
That's it.
So, no, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting too, because I think what you're seeing here in the United States, especially among these supporters of Islam, like American supporters of Islam, is you say they like to it's like progressive Christians where they like to pick and choose kind of parts of Christianity, but rather they're doing it with Islam. And I think that what you're seeing is they like to reject the idea of like, oh yeah, Islam doesn't actually hate gay people. That's not actually a thing. Oh no, they will throw you off a building if you're gay.
Yep.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's a major part of their religion. So I think it's funny that you have these liberal women going on, X going on TikTok, and
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh yeah, we need to free Palestine so then the trans people can be safer."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm just like, that
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Mhm.
So I think here in America, we have a really weird sense of things. So like the second, and people also like to put you on either side. They like to say either you support Israel or you support Palestine. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't really care too much.
Yeah.
I think there are definitely, I think there have been bad things. I mean, we don't have to get into the Israel Palestine conflict, but like there are some major issues on both sides, in my opinion. I think generally I support the nation of Israel and what they're doing there, but I know I definitely have some major complaints too.
Yeah. The
So
country itself, absolutely. I'm absolutely. I feel like that is the Holy Land, but
yeah,
I don't agree with the leadership. And I
mhm.
don't. Their mindset is a little twisted, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I think the war went on for too long,
Yeah.
and I think the war I don't think it's like war crime, genocide. Like I don't like using those like radicalizing words because obviously we saw what happened to Charlie when
Yeah.
people call you a sexist, a racist, a white supremacist
Yeah.
24/7. You might get shot, and I don't like using those words. But yeah, I definitely say there are some complaints I have with Israel, especially over their bombing of a church, whether or not it was accidental or not.
Yeah.
Major issue, only church in Gaza, kind of a problem. But yeah, generally, yeah, I do support Israel. I'd rather the Jews rule it than the Muslims for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I was trying to look this up because I remember it happening and it was, oh my, it was a horrible, horrible time. I remember that. I want to say it was under Obama. Obviously, I'm not blaming Obama, but I'm just saying it was under Obama. Um, I want to say during that time, ISIS, I think they captured some Christians that were trying to, minister, what is it? Mission, doing mission work.
yeah.
Pretty sure ISIS, if I recall correctly, they even recorded it, beheaded the Christians, and that's the problem here is you have the group that as Christian, like I said, I pray for these people. I would never want to see them beheaded. even
Yeah.
if they disagree with my belief, even if they, slaying God, I wouldn't never want that to happen. But, if you don't agree with that belief, they're so keen on doing stuff like that. And it's sad, and that's why it's just become so radicalized, and it really is sad, you know.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think it's interesting because the reason that we actually got into this situation is because of Christians who just decided that it was okay for a completely rival religion, mind you, a religion we've been fighting against for thousands of years, to just waltz into the West, take it over, and start influencing our lives and our societies. So you see complacent Christians allowing this to happen. I think it's a major issue. I think it's time for Christians to realize we need to fight back, and we can fight back socially. We can fight back by converting more people,
Yeah.
but we stand at the precipice of losing our entire civilization.
Yeah,
So,
and I agree. And unfortunately, you know, as a Christian, the church is in a malaise right now. It's at just a standstill. It's not really going anywhere, and it's that's another thing that's horrible to see. Like, there's no fight from the church right now. I mean, we can. I don't want to go into this. Like I said, it's just there's a lot of things that I am disgusted with the church right now, and
100%.
but
Yeah.
we don't have to go into that because it's some sad things I'm seeing, and it's just an abomination to everything that Jesus died for.
Hmm. Yeah, and I don't want to get canceled, so I will say, like, I'm not saying you should go out there and shoot Muslims. That's not what
Never,
I'm
yeah, never.
saying.
No.
No, 100%. And there is a guy out there. Ooh, what is his name? Let me look him up real quick. But I actually got to talk to him a little while ago. He hosts a radio show down in California. He's a great Christian, and he talks about, yeah, there are times when there is a need to defend yourself, defend
Yeah.
other people. Like, there is obviously, if you're seeing a woman getting mugged and like violated on the side of the street, you're going to step in. As a Christian, we should be able to confidently say, yeah, I'm going to step in and protect this woman who's being attacked. Right. So there is he makes a really good case for it. I will probably put his name up in post once we're done, but really cool getting to talk to him. And yeah, there are times when us as Christians, we are going to need to stand up and say no more. Having the Republicans in power can only do so much. And it's one of these, I mean, you even see a lot of Republicans are like, we have more in common with the Muslims than we do the Jews. And I tend to say no, because, Jesus was a Jew and all of his disciples were Jews. Our religion is founded on Jewish principles. But I think that we, in the end, like, Judaism and Islam, like, they are not compatible with Christianity. I
Yeah.
think it's time that us as Christians, we stop being so fractured and we stop fighting amongst ourselves, and we start to recognize that, yeah, we have a major problem right before us, like a societal issue. And yeah, we can argue about like the filioque and like various other theological topics, but in the end, we are brothers and sisters in Christ. I firmly, as a Protestant Christian, I firmly believe that my Catholic brothers and sisters have just as much a path, well, maybe not just as much path, but they have a path to salvation just as I do. We have issues on the sacraments. We do disagree on a lot of things like that, but like, they are my brothers, they are my sisters, and
Yeah.
100% I will protect them. I'll stand up and fight for them. So I
You
think
know,
it's important.
sorry, I'm
Go
so
ahead.
sorry. I wanted to say this before because you were talking about the Republicans specifically. I'm going. Yeah, I vote Republican. Tend to.
Hey, watch out, FBI's watching.
Right. Right. I'm very disappointed, which obviously is Congress, so I guess it should be. I guess even in Trump, this is it's America has been so high on getting involved in things outside of America. I don't know if you've been watching, if you're paying attention. There's I don't know what you would want to call it. It's a genocide going on in Congo. Christians are being murdered by ISIS. South Africa, other places. I think Libya. Nothing's being done. Nobody's talking about it. Nothing is happening. And, that is ridiculous. And we need to step in on this. Absolutely. I'm not one to say, oh, you got to go to war, all this. Something needs to be done here. This is a genocide that is taking place in Congo. I'm looking right now, 89 people in multiple attacks in eastern Congo by the Islamic State killed. They killed 89 people, and there hasn't been one media coverage on this. Fox News isn't talking about it. Newsmax, which God forbid you don't want to watch that garbage. Newsmax isn't talking about it. Mainstream's not going to talk about it. Why isn't this being talked about? You see, all of this everywhere else is talked about, but why isn't this? Why are we not talking about this? Why? And and I voted Trump because although I think he does have some problems in his faith, I pray for him. I think that he aligned with my religion closest with any other candidate. But he needs to wake up, and the people in his cabinet need to wake up. And we shouldn't accept this. This isn't okay. This is not normal, And I wanted to say that because I just seen this, and that really cuts deep, because if they're doing this here and they're already expanding, what are they going to do when they get control here?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I saw a video recently. It popped up on my feed a couple weeks ago, probably. And there was this Nigerian pastor. Obviously, there's a big issue with Islamic persecution in Nigeria too. And there was this Nigerian pastor. He was literally saying, like, Donald Trump, save us. And one of my friends was like, I don't like that. I don't think he should be calling on Donald Trump to save him. And I said, well, I mean, he is calling on someone who can, like, I don't think it's like heretical. I think what he's doing is he is trying to find someone who can actually save his congregation, save his people from being slaughtered.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fine. I think that obviously God puts all of the leaders in power. It says that in Romans 10. God institutes all of the governments. Like, God places leaders in place to do his will, his bidding.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
like the kingdom of Assyria, and God used them to dole out judgment on the Jewish people, like his people. The Hebrews were carried off, and the Israelites were taken off, and they were They were captive. And I think that 100% God can use Donald Trump to save his people from persecution. But if persecution is what God has for his people, then his people will be persecuted. And Christ has already told us that when he was on this earth. He told us, he said, you will be persecuted for my name. Because you carry the name Christian, you will be persecuted. So I pray for my brothers and sisters in Nigeria. I pray that they would be saved from their persecution, from their trials and tribulations that they're going through. But I also recognize that persecution has a unique place in Christianity. So yes, if God chooses to use Donald Trump to save his people in Nigeria, then 100%.
And
all
we
praise
lift
to God.
Up the people that are taking that bullet, that are taking that knife to the throat for the name of Jesus. They're not saying, I don't believe in God just so they live. They know there's more to gain. And talking about and Trump and all this, and that's why I wanted to bring this up, because I absolutely trusted Trump with this, because we seen this coming. This was happening before the Trump administration in 2016. And the Democrats don't care. That's just the truth. They don't care. I mean, you have a presidential candidate. Christ is King. Christ is Lord. Oh, you're at the wrong rally. They don't care. Yeah. They do not care. And we voted Trump in, and we voted these people in. Marco Rubio, all these people. We wanted this because we're seeing what's happening. And I feel like they're turning a blind eye. Nothing's being done. He made one tweet about it. And I don't think anything's been done since. A tweet's not gonna solve this. Get something done. This is genocide. This is absolutely genocide. This is genocide of Christian values. It's really sickening, man.
Yeah, no, it is really sickening that it's being allowed to happen. I do think, obviously, there are some complications with the actual power that Donald Trump can use, especially in a sovereign nation. But genuinely, I do think he needs to do something. He needs to do more than a tweet. I 100% agree with you. Yeah. As someone who campaigned on being, I don't know if he directly campaigned on it, but like he was the Christian candidate, whatever Kamala Harris identified as when it comes to Christianity, she obviously wasn't. And I think that, Donald Trump in order to uphold his campaign promises, he needs to protect the Christians being persecuted around the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, major issue for sure.
It's sickening stuff. I just stumbled upon it because I was thinking about South Africa, which I know that involved white people, and then I stumbled upon that, and I think that might have been God showing me that, because I wasn't even looking for this. I really wasn't. And it popped up on Congo that around 89 Christians were killed by the Islamic State, and it's just, this is so sad. But like I said, God said, keep the good fight going. We fight for Christ, and but I pray for the people there, and I just keep fighting, guys. Come on, you got this.
Yeah, 100%. Got some comments here. Yeah, Antonio says you two are doing something amazing. Keep bringing this topic to light and encourages believers to share the good news of Jesus Christ. In the end, it's all about leading humanity to salvation. 100%, dude. I think that this does provide a great opportunity for us to compare and contrast Christianity to Islam and various other religions. Like, it is so easy now to say, hey, I'm a Christian. Look at the difference between my actions. And this is why it's so important for Christians to behave in a way that exemplifies Christ, and it gives him the glory and gives light to his gospel. Because if they can compare our lives to the lives of the Muslims in the Middle East, how they behave, how they treat women, how they treat each other. Even there's a lot of infighting in Islam, which most people don't even know. But I think that this is such a good opportunity to share the gospel to unbelievers and be like, hey, look, I'm a Christian. And if you want proof of how my religion works, like, obviously you're not gonna say it this way, but like, if you want proof of how my religion works, compare me to other religions, compare Christians to Muslims and what they're doing around the world.
Yep. Yeah.
100%. I think it's a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Northman Wisdom says we're being replaced.
Well, it feels like that.
It certainly does feel like.
I don't think he's wrong. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they always talk about like the great replacement theory and all that sort of stuff. So I don't think this one is actually being orchestrated by like the Democrats or anything like that. I think this one is being orchestrated by the Muslims, and I think they're doing this all themselves.
Yeah, and I think God is allowing the process to be sped up, because I think his return is very soon.
100%. Yeah. So shifting topics a little bit here, I did want to talk about where'd it go? I didn't make it. I wanted to talk about men. I want to talk about young men. I know we hit this a lot, but I think it's it's kind of a cornerstone of my podcast, is talking about young men and what we can do to help them, really. So I think we can probably tie this into how Islam is affecting young men. I would say it's radicalizing them, whether it's radicalizing them as like Christians, or whether there is like a actual radical element infiltrating its way into our society that's causing men to be more radical. And honestly, I think in a time when all we need to do is tone the temperature down against each other, against other Americans, reach across. What do you think?
I would agree. I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, we need to definitely tone down a little bit. Are you talking like, I missed the first part. Are you talking about just men in general, or?
Yeah. So specifically young men, obviously they are like a unique group of people right now in today's society.
I as a man, and I'm not woe is me, but I think especially Gen Z men are isolated at the moment when it comes to speaking out on anything, because I feel like you say something and we're told to shut up. But like I said, it's about, if you have your faith, you have your beliefs, and I feel like you have every right to use that First Amendment right to share what you feel. But that's really all I have on that.
Yeah. I wonder if it has to do, or it kind of contributes to this kind of this inability to take, or unwillingness to take responsibility for your actions. I don't know how much of that is actually in Islam. Maybe something interesting to look into. But I feel like that was a major epidemic, and something we're seeing in young men is they can't take responsibility for the mistakes that they've made, for the decisions they've made that have affected other people negatively. And they even can't even take responsibility of their role as men in households and societies. And of course, that's something I'm working on too. I mean, I'm getting up there in years.
Yeah. How old
Getting
are
old,
you?
right?
How old are you?
I'm 16.
16. Yeah, you're very smart for a 16-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I mean, I'm sure you probably have friends that are like that too. Like they sit around, play video games, and they're kind of apathetic. I think apathy
Yeah.
is a major disease influencing young men right now. And I think
Yeah.
that maybe it's not directly Islam influencing this, but I certainly think that Islam contributes to this sort of they push this barrage of like, it's not your fault, it's society's fault, it's other people's fault. Like,
Yeah.
don't take responsibility. Don't worry. It's not because of you. It is because of you. You can do plenty of things to do better. And I think that Islam is kind of this piece of it too, where it's like, oh yeah, the world just sucks because, Islam is infiltrating the West and it's just, there's nothing we can do about it. Too bad. Maybe that's actually affecting young men right now. I don't know.
Motivation as well. Motivation is another thing. I even have that problem. It's just motivated to do anything. I don't know what it is. It's just not having that motivation. I think this is the most single generation ever. I think I've seen where like everyone is single. A lot of people are. So it's just a lot of different things. You have the internet now. You have beliefs, but I think motivation right now is the problem. No one. I don't know. We're stuck in quicksand and we're struggling to get out.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think it's like one of those traps where it's like it's a gentle pull at first, and then as you slowly start to move in, like it just you can't. It's harder to get out. So I think that the issue is that we live in such a comfortable society where there's so many comforts, so many pleasures. I mean, we don't have to get into all of it, but like especially for young men, there are some very major temptations. But I have generally found that going out and meeting people, going out and talking to people is a surefire way to motivate yourself to go out and, maybe hit the gym, maybe start dressing nicer. That's a major thing I do want to start hitting in my channel is like dressing nicer, holding yourself with confidence.
Too. Yeah, I have that problem too. I'll just go out and wear a hoodie and and I want to be presentable. And I think that not only speaks volumes for yourself, but everything that you value. I think that is
100%.
that is a good point. Is representation of yourself and presenting yourself. I just now started buying clothes. I just would wear clothes that I've had for a couple of years just because I was so lazy, didn't want to go get it. And it's a problem. That speaks to the motivation. I just couldn't get motivated to go do it.
Yeah, Seth, I'm coming down to Missouri next week and we're gonna go clothes shopping. I'm gonna get you some clothes.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, no, 100%. I think that probably the biggest motivator for guys is women, and I think that, like I said, it's a lot of cope that I'm hearing where it's like the dating pool. Oh, you can find women. Go look at your church.
It's tough though. And I'm not making excuses, but which right now I'm trying to get through college and. I'm going to look for a woman, but I am trying to get through college right now. And so I do have other priorities. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that it's pretty easy if you know where to look. So, guys, this is going to be the thumbnail. Clickbait. We're going to look for a girl. No. So it's 3 simple steps. No. It is a complicated topic for sure. Where do you find a girl? Obviously, as a Christian, you're going to want to try to find one at a church. That's going to be a major place that you're going to want to look. I think that what we really need to do as men is we need to start recognizing, yes, it is my responsibility to go and find a woman that is like God has told us to be fruitful and multiply. And I firmly believe, I feel like a motivation coach right now. I firmly believe that any guy, actually, let's do an experiment. For those of you who are watching live, or if you're watching this in post, once it's been edited and all that sort of stuff, go and look in a mirror. I want you to get up, whatever you're doing, go and look in a mirror and look at yourself and say, what do I need to change about myself? So people often talk about how, oh, it's not constructive to compare yourself to others, and you shouldn't like judge yourself harshly. And yeah, I think that it can be a problem, but I also feel like it can be a great constructive tool, and it can be motivation to improve yourself. So yeah, if you get up and you look in the mirror and you take a look at yourself, you're like, I need a better haircut. Maybe I should get better clothes.
Yeah.
Maybe, that can be a good tool. I think that it's a slippery slope because some people definitely do have a tendency towards uh, like depression, and like they can definitely be affected by that. But if you know yourself and you know that it's not too much of an issue for you, and I think as all men, we should be able to do that and kind of reflect on yourself, or reflect on your mental, spiritual, physical health. Uh, yeah, I feel like you should be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I want to change this. I want to change this. I want to change this. I want to start going to the gym. I want to get fitter. I want to get in shape. I want to eat healthy. I want to, dress nice. I feel like this is 100% things any guy can do to improve himself. And yeah, make yourself more desirable
Yeah.
for the women around, you know? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally crazy and I don't
No,
know
I
what I'm
don't think
talking about. What
I
do you
don't
think?
think I would say you're right. I would agree. But and that's another thing too is I value a woman that obviously she takes care of herself. She has goals. That's one thing that's big for me. She has goals. She has ambitions. She wants something for herself, and I think that you know that's what we should all be looking for. Honestly, I mean, think that's fair to say is to find you someone that you can grow with, whether that's maturity wise, whether that's religiously, whether that's you know whatever it is, but find someone, try to really just find someone that you can grow with in all aspects of life.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with you. I think we live in a society nowadays where it is one, it's not really recommended, or it's like obviously we live in a post-sexual revolution where
Right.
like marriage doesn't mean as much as it used to. And I think that there is a major issue when it does come to young men being motivated to go out and find women. Obviously, there are some bad things you get into on the internet. I don't think I'm allowed to say what it is on YouTube, so I don't want to get banned. But there are some bad things you can get into on the internet that, yeah, they are seriously detrimental to wanting a woman and desiring a woman. Everyone just left the second I started talking about that. That's funny. And things like that. So 100%, I think that society nowadays, yes, it is far more difficult. Kind of to wrap this topic up. Like, yeah, it is far more difficult to find a good godly woman for a Christian. And yeah, society's comfortable. Society, you don't really want to get out of your comfort zone and go talk to a girl, walk up to a girl and go talk to her. But it is necessary.
Yeah.
And it is something that 100% that we're called to be fruitful and multiply. It's pretty obvious to me what that means. And there's only one way to do that in the Christian belief. That's to get married. So,
Yeah.
and it's fun. And it's fun to meet girls and talk to them. I feel like that's a major thing. A lot of guys don't know how to talk to girls. Personally, I grew up with two sisters and no brothers. I know how to talk to girls. I might not be the best at it, but I definitely like. Yeah, it's daunting. It's challenging.
It's like, do you like Trump? That's the first thing you say. Who did you vote for?
That's true. That is true. That's definitely the first thing I say.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but no, 100%, guys. I mean, honestly, confidence is key. I feel like that can't be said enough. Be confident in your own knowledge about things. Be confident in your strengths and know your weaknesses too, and try to avoid them.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. I feel like young men nowadays, we're in a slump right now. And I think it's
Yes, we are.
unfortunate to see my friends, my brothers, struggling, really struggling. And I feel like there are content creators out there who are not helping. Rather,
No.
they're making the situation worse. And, I'm not going to name names because I don't really have any off the top. I mean, I have a couple off the top of my head, but I don't want to name them. But yeah, no, 100%. I think it's a major issue and society is not helping. So,
I would
yeah.
agree.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Seth, do you have any more topics to talk about?
I'm trying to think what's going on in the world right now.
I know it's kind of like a dead time for
It
like
really is, yeah.
domestic politics. Hey, let's talk about Venezuela. That's a great idea. Let's talk about
Okay, yeah,
Venezuela.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. I've
Uh,
actually been waiting to talk about this on my
Actually, that's funny. I
podcast.
just had something pulled up right here that just said senators vow to prohibit U.S. military action in Venezuela if Trump pursues strikes against the country.
How many signed that, or how many vowed?
That's what I'm assuming it's Chuck Schumer. Yeah, Chuck
No.
Schumer and Tim Kaine. Man, what a surprise there.
Yeah. But
And
did they?
Rand Paul, which we knew that. I mean, that guy's just, he's everything that Trump says he goes against now. I guess I don't know what his deal is.
Wait, how many? But would they? Question is, would Congress have enough? How many votes do you need to declare war or whatever?
Well,
Will they try to get
military-
around it, saying it's like regime
It de-
change? Or...
Yeah, I guess that's what it would be. A regime change is different than just a normal, strike. What would that be? I wonder. I
vote.
don't think that would be your normal 60, would it?
I'd probably be more than. How many do you need to pass? Needed to pass. What the heck? What? Oh, it's in the House. Oh, okay. A formal declaration of war simply requires a simple majority. That's weird. Oh, there. A simple majority vote in both the House of Reps and
That's what
the
I
Senate.
figured. Yeah,
Wow.
I figured it wasn't 60. I honestly thought it was just a majority.
That's crazy.
That's what I thought. I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to look stupid and be completely wrong. I didn't think it was 60 though.
All right, guys. Those of you who are listening, type down in the comments. What are your thoughts on war with Venezuela? I assume maybe some people.
I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be war.
You don't think it'll be war?
I think it'll be swift and quick.
Okay, tell me what your thoughts are on any action in Venezuela that is violent in nature. But yeah, I think Trump better, if he's going to go to war with Venezuela, he better have some people in the CIA who have infiltrated or something. There better be something like that. Otherwise, I don't want to get bogged down in a war. I respect the idea of like the Monroe Doctrine, like this is our hemisphere. 100% respect that, but no, I don't want.
I don't think
I
don't think we'll go to war with Venezuela.
Yeah, I mean, like
my prediction. I think he'll step down.
You think they'll force him to step down?
I think he'll step down.
Yeah,
I do. And another reason, as a baseball fan, I would love to see Venezuela in the WBC. They're always fun to watch. They're always a good team. So. Yeah. But I know I think Maduro said he wasn't going to step down. I think he will eventually step down. I think he will. Yeah.
Didn't he send like his family away or something?
Something like that. And I know right now, I think today I've seen where they did a parade or something to try to get the military ready. The problem is we're not gonna boots on a ground war with Venezuela. I mean, that'd just be stupid.
Yeah. No.
if we go to war with you, it's gonna be fast.
Yeah.
Be quick.
Yeah. What we have like 11 ships there, and 11 ships and like 15,000 troops or something.
I would try to not go to war with them and try to keep that America first, no war sentiment going. Force the guy to step down. I mean, do what you have to do. Get him to step down, and then arrest him. Okay.
Yeah. No, and put him on trial. I mean, he's committed various human rights abuses.
The narco terrorism that he's allowed to go through that country to other countries, they probably killed millions of people. Millions.
Oh yeah, 100%. And okay, actually, we can definitely talk about this. Did you see recently that someone was going off on Pete Hegseth for telling, because Pete Hegseth allegedly gave an oral order to kill the survivors on a Venezuelan drug boat that had been hit. Apparently 2 guys survived and were like clinging to it. Mm-hmm. And reportedly Pete Hegseth gave an order to kill all the survivors. So I figured this. So, okay. Sometimes when I'm going to the gym, I listen to just whatever the news is on the radio.
Yeah.
So it was in the morning and I heard that, and I get home and I'm like doing school. I'm done with school. And then I start like just doing I listen to like Michael Knowles every day. And like, I look at the news and stuff. So then I hear that actually it was Pete Hegseth had denied that he ever gave that order. Trump had denied that that order was ever given. Like, but on the news they had made it sound like, yeah, they said
Well,
this.
who,
Like,
what
Pete
news
Hegseth
channel
said this.
said it? What news channel said it?
Uh, MSNBC or
Oh, well,
something.
it didn't happen then.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, it's crazy. It's crazy that they're just allowed to say that though.
Yeah.
That you're just allowed to make a claim like that because
Yeah,
by
that
saying
is
that,
actually that might be that could be a national security threat. Really, if you want to get technical, that could be.
I mean, it definitely could. I think that's a crime. It should be a crime because what you're telling people is like, yeah, Pete Hegseth is like a heartless monster and he's killing people. I mean, like even if he did do that, why would that be an issue?
Yeah.
Well, like what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I seen where he was on the plane and the woman asked, "Are you going to do military action in Venezuela?" Like, yeah, he's going to answer that on a plane in front of the press. Yeah.
No, my favorite is before the Iran stuff, and the interviewers were asking Trump. They were like, "Are you going to strike Iran?" And Trump's like, "Why would I tell you that?
Why would I tell you that? Yeah.
If I am going to strike Iran, I'm not going to tell you."
Yeah, it's almost like these people want to see our own demise. It's like they want to see us fall.
Yeah. No,
Like,
it's insane.
Even if,
it's
like, say
insane.
even take Obama or Biden were in office and they were going to plan some military action, I still wouldn't want a Republican reporter asking him. This stuff needs to stay confidential.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think it's crazy because it is such a self-destructive attitude too, where it's just like, I don't care about what state secrets I give away, anything like that, as long as Trump looks stupid. And that's their whole entire motivation. They're like, I just want to make Trump look stupid. Like, oh, Trump doesn't even know if he's going to strike Venezuela or not. Like, no, that's not why. You're just an idiot.
Yeah, and that's the thing with stuff like this. He truly may not know what he's gonna do yet. He may not. There's so many moving parts to stuff like this. I mean, who's to say he does this and Maduro was gonna step down, and then you just attack, and then you attack for no reason. That you have to be smart and you have to be really quiet about stuff like this. Like it's stupid. Stupidity in the press is just it's a joke. It's a total joke.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's a major issue because it does it shows where our society's at right now, where it's like I mean, we talked about this in the other episode, but like partisan politics reigns supreme. Nothing is bipartisan. Nothing at all. People don't reject the Democrats don't reject what Trump does because it doesn't have any merit to it. They reject it because they completely they just want to see Trump's demise and they want to vote against everything he stands for, everything his followers stands for. And I think it's a major issue because these partisan politics are tearing our country apart and creating a divide between the people. I think it's a major issue.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And like I said, I'm all for press. I'm all for the First Amendment, but there comes a point in time where you're just saying stuff to say stuff, and you're actually causing an issue here.
Yeah, I think that the press, I liked it when they started kicking them out of buildings and stuff. And they were like, yeah, no, you can't be in the Pentagon. And they were like, how dare, this is unprecedented. I'm like, why were you in the Pentagon in the first place? I think that's an issue. I don't think you should be in the Pentagon. I mean, yeah, you can be at the White House for press briefings.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy here and I'm like an authoritarian, but I don't know.
No, because the thing is, you're not like even when they are in there asking questions, we're not getting the truth. They say something, and then you go watch the clip, and it's like he didn't even say that.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, 100%. And that's where it gets to kind of like these news stations, where the news stations are just playing into the partisan politics too. They're doing the same thing, and they're just like they're clipping things up and making it sound like people said things that they didn't. They're probably going to do that with this podcast.
MSNBC, CNN, all these liberal channels, they'll never admit it, but I feel like they quietly love Trump being in office because of the views.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's only.
I mean, you get a Democrat. Democrats are boring, very boring. They don't talk about anything anybody cares about. They're talking about go in the bathroom, and nobody cares about all that garbage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, 100%. I think that they are dead. But then again, maybe it's a controversial take because, like I said, like I listen to Michael Knowles. I really like him. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I don't like all the Daily Wire's hosts, but I mean, like, I like Michael Knowles. I think he's great. I'd love to meet him one of these days. Michael, if you're listening. But no, I think that the right wing news groups and corporations like Daily Wire, like Breitbart News, like all these places, like maybe it's a hot take, but I genuinely think they're playing into partisan politics too. If you read their stuff, like, yeah, it's basically clickbait for conservatives and Democrats. It's what it is. And if you look at the left wing stuff, it's the same thing. So that's where I have a major issue with right wing news corporations, things like that. But
I used to love Newsmax, and oh my god, it's just all about Trump, this and that, and I don't watch the news anymore. I just I read articles and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think that's good too, but I also think we're starting to get a bit of an issue too with like X, all these social media platforms that are really dividing our nation.
Yeah.
I know X can get really heated. I personally am not on X. Man, I might be soon, guys. If you want the channel on X, then I don't know what you can do in X. Oh, I do have an X account actually.
You can do Spaces too, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Spaces. Those are usually fun, I will say, because everybody comes in and talks. I bet we can get people on the Discord in it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And
this was another thing. Since we're talking about this and the media brainwashing people. I was watching. I think it was like a town hall meeting or a school meeting or something, and the kid was like, he was I think a Mexican. He was a legal immigrant, and he was like, I don't want my parents to be deported. I don't want them. They go outside, and I don't want them to like just disappear. I love my parents, and his parents were literally legal immigrants, and they're being so brainwashed.
Yeah.
To think that you're legal. They're not deporting legal immigrants. That's not happening. But they're being so brainwashed into believing that.
Well, yeah, for those of you who actually watched my interview video, like when I went out there were people who genuinely believed like Trump was the Gestapo and he was going to put liberals in prison. He was going to put legal immigrants in prison. They were like, yeah, he's already putting legal immigrants in prison. I'm like, what? Like they're just being told these crazy things. And maybe one of these times when I go out there, I'm going to be like, where are you getting your information? Like, where are you hearing that he's putting legal people in jail? I just think it's crazy because you're totally right. They're just playing into partisan politics. And you hit an interesting point there where you're talking about this Mexican kid who's talking about his parents getting deported. Like, yeah, they're playing into the emotional aspect of it too, because I mean, you got to feel for the guy, right? Like if this was true and his parents are just going to walk out and get deported. Yeah, I kind of got to feel for him. Like, his parents get deported.
I don't blame him,
but it's not true.
I don't blame him though, because if I was in his shoes and I was fed all of this, I would be scared also. But I blame the people feeding this garbage,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just like not true.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because remember when we fought that like right-wing media fought that whole entire war for truth or whatever it was called?
Yeah.
You remember that? It was a big thing. The Daily Wire led it. Daily Wire kind of led it and stuff like that. And, we thought we won. Everyone talked about how we won. Like we won the war on truth, all because the Daily Wire is around now. What?
Yeah.
But it's not true. And there is a major battle we are still fighting there are huge lies being perpetrated. I see these videos all the time where it's like videos of ICE agents and they're clipping these crazy parts and it's just not the whole engagement. They're clipping out the parts where people start chucking trash cans at them or throwing bricks at them. And then all you ever see is them tear gassing civilians. And it's like, yeah, did you see what happened before that? So it's 100%. They're just playing into partisan politics. It's really sad. It's really scary because it's radicalizing people,
Yeah.
I mean,
there's another thing too I seen. This is kind of, I guess, coming out of left field. Mark Kelly, I think the senator from Arizona. Mark Kelly, and then there was someone else. I think, is it Michigan? What is her name? Oh my goodness. Why am I blanking on her name? I literally just had it. Lisa Slotkin.
Yeah, yeah.
You had Slotkin and Kelly, and I seen something where they said where that the military could refuse orders from the president. I seen something on that.
Yeah, you're talking about. So yeah, what happened was they put out a video. A bunch of senators and House members put out a video, and they were like, remember, you can refuse illegal orders. Remember, you can, and they just kind of like repeated that. It was like a psyop kind of what, but no, I mean they were all just kind of like talking about how you can refuse illegal orders, which thus implies that for some reason there is an illegal order that Trump is giving, and you can't know if the order is illegal until after you do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it's just absurd. Mark Kelly is not a good senator.
That is true, that is a national security threat. Absolutely.
100%. And the crazy thing is they start whining about it later because Trump was like, yeah, that's treason. You know how they punish treason?
Yeah.
Hanging. And it was a joke. You know, he was making a joke. He was like messing with them. And they were like,
want to see that happen, but I mean, that is technically can be considered treason for sure.
They were like, Trump said he's gonna hang me and my friends, and it's like, well, that is treason. You're telling American soldiers to refuse orders. That's treason. That is the definition of treason. And they just started whining about it. So I don't know, dude. I think that it's not just the news corporations. It's not just the influencers. It is the senators, and it is our politicians are playing into their own partisan politics. No one wants to do true politics anymore. All we want to do is fight over the things because that gets the most clicks. That makes them feel like heroes, and it's just absurd. And society's going downhill because of it. And it's really sad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I just want to bring that up because I've seen that, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, no, it's insane.
Nothing surprises me with that party. You know?
Dude, seriously. It's insane. All right, well, on that happy note, we should probably end the streams, but been going for about an hour now, and I need to hit the gym.
Yeah.
Or actually, oh, no, sorry. I have a Turning Point meeting.
Oh,
that should be fun. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I think we have one person on still who stayed through the whole time.
So shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out. Although we had like 7 people at the most, which is good. Better than some.
That's what I love about doing this. This is twice that I've been on. You know, we go from we're so diverse in what we talk about. We go from here to there to
dude, it's the best part, bro. It's the best part. It's because I don't know. I don't know anything like deep enough about one subject to talk about it.
I think that's the best way to do it because it's actually real. You know, it's not 100%. Like, you know. Yeah.
For those of you watching, like, yeah, we don't structure this really. Yeah. I mean, he sent me like a couple questions.
But yeah.
yeah, 100%. No, I really liked it, and I hope Lane is free for one of these episodes in the future. It was a lot of fun.
I don't know where he's at. I'm gonna have to try to get a hold of him.
Bro is like doing whatever people in Missouri do with their free time. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this stream. I had a lot of fun. Seth, thank you so much for coming on, dude. I really appreciate it. 100%. I mean, I was like messaging you like I was messaging you a lot because I was like, dude, if he can't make it, I'm cooked. For those of you who were on my earlier stream where I literally talked about nothing for 30 minutes, that was great. No, it wasn't. But yeah, honestly, I had a great time. I hope you had a great time. I hope everyone watching had a great time. And of course, I'm going to have a lot of editing to do because I don't want to get banned on YouTube. So yeah, guys, have a great day and God bless.
God bless, man.